The world's energy sector is responsible for about 75% of greenhouse gas emissions from fossil electricity generation and traditional biomass, among others, according to a 2023 International Energy Agency (IEA) report. The emissions get worse due to inefficient energy systems and access concerns to new forms of energy, especially in developing countries, a situation that falls short of Sustainable Development Goal 7. In Ghana, more than two-thirds of the populace have access to electricity, but many rural and peri-urban dwellers continue to rely on traditional cooking methods, even though the nationally determined contribution aims to transition 2 million households to clean cooking energy by 2030. The situation is not different in Sunyani in the Bono region of Ghana, where some residents still use firewood and charcoal for domestic and commercial cooking and industrial purposes to sustain livelihoods. But a few, like Gloria Sifa, a food vendor, have had to use clean energy against her preferred firewood due to the location of her food joint. Though her interest is not in where the firewood is sourced and its impact on the environment, she acknowledges the ease and swiftness of using liquefied petroleum gas as cooking energy.
Because it's a gas in it. And aside that, it's more tasty, gas.
Her preferred firewood and charcoal come at a cost of forest destruction, a worrying situation according to Richard Kofichei, Bono Regional Deputy Director of the Forestry Commission.
We all need to work together to reverse the trend. Otherwise, a time will come and then we all will be found wanting.
Besides the environmental impact, there are also health concerns from the smoke. Daniel Owusu Koko is the Sunyani Municipal Environmental Health Officer.
When you use firewood, it is going to generate smoke. And smoke, we know what it does to our lungs. And so we will suggest that going forward, they try to use other sources of fuel instead of using firewood.
But Gloria insists the cost of electricity, LPG and other clean energy is a turn-off.
Because we use gas 3 million a week, Japan, and Kakos 1 million, and I commit me at least now 1.5, Mina 1.5 additional idea to run.
In our society, you will say that poverty is one of the reasons why they continue using firewood. They cannot afford it. And so though we don't like it, but gradually we will reach there.
You can deduce that it is easier getting the firewood as against the LPG. And sometimes also, you see, people find it difficult carrying their cylinders to these refill stations. They might go and it will be written no gas, but you will never find no charcoal signpost at any place. You see, so this is availability of the alternative is the reason why people are finding it very difficult to adapt.
A 2022 report on the charcoal sector by researchers Asari and Co. noted that although sustainable technologies such as Adam retort kiln offer environmental and efficiency gains, their adoption is limited due to cost and technical know-how, among others. Dr. Khalid Mensah is the head of Department of Atmospheric and Climate Science at the University of Energy and Natural Resources in Sunyani.
Clean, sustainable energy supplies that could be alternatives to this firewood and charcoal burning has to do with the use of LPG gas, which in 2010, around that time, there was a policy that was implemented on this extension of LPG gases to homes to make sure that people reduce the rate at which they are using this firewood. But it has some challenges. So now we are looking at other energy supplies, like even these electric stoves, and there are other ranges so that we limit the use of these firewood and charcoal burning.
According to the 2021 nationally determined contribution against climate change, there must be equitable access to electricity and the promotion of energy transition to improved cook stoves and clean fuels. But many, including Gloria, feels the gap.
It's very important that we create equal opportunities whereby it's not only some group of individuals that are really benefiting from the use of this clean energy supply, but everyone. The reason why possibly the interest died out has to do with possibly education didn't go well. That's why there is a need for the campaign to go before implementation starts, to just discourage them from using the traditional means, to also go a long way to help the country reduce on its greenhouse gas emissions, which has to do with the national determined contributions that Ghana is also a signatory to it, and we have a commitment to make sure we are reducing.
Some residents and food vendors, however, fear using clean energy such as gas.
To allay some of these fears aside the cultural perspective, that's why when it comes to implementation, we need to really sit well and find ways to address some of these concerns from the people who are using that. And with the explosion concern, I think there are things that at times the Ghana National Fire Service, they also put in place to help guide us.
While the Forestry Commission tightens up measures to discourage the use of firewood and charcoal, city authorities are also urging the enforcement of bylaws to reduce dependency on biomass and promote clean cooking.
Previously, charcoal production was somehow free, but now if you produce the charcoal for sale, we charge you some amount. In a way, it will also increase the price at which they will sell it to you. So this is one way that we are using to discourage the use of charcoal.
We also need to enforce bylaws or the laws in the country. If we continue implementing the bylaws, some of them will understand and they will stop.
Gloria Sifa admonished authorities to critically look at the high rate of electricity and gas tariffs to aid transition to sustainable clean energies, as highlighted in the Ghana Climate Change Policy.
You see, Jana said, "Member car 1.5. Now, the gas, we turn now watching also 1.5. Me who dear here say, Nipa bet Nasia, sitting here, over so you see, because it was a gas, no, the no amount, amount near Master who class and yet to. It is a buy bet here, you will be beside Maya. Can you see any better? I mean, you say, many animal we use Jana, betting a jano. No, Musabe kind when I'm yet gas.
The country receives some money from these global alliances, and then also some from these climate-related groups. And all of these could be geared towards creating some subsidies to reduce the cost of refilling. And if it comes that way, people then now are able to patronize and they are able to use it well.
The hope is that future policies will make clean energy not only affordable and reliable, but also accessible to all. Strategic efforts must address both economic and cultural barriers, ensuring a just and sustainable energy transition for Ghana's underserved communities. Precious Semevo, Sunyai.
This story is brought to you by Joy News in partnership with CDKN Ghana, University of Ghana Center for Climate Change and Sustainability Studies, with funding from Claire R4I Opportunities Fund.